When most riders imagine motorcycles that defy expectations, the spotlight usually shines on Japan. But the United States has its own lineup of machines that surprise us with their style, power, and endurance. For decades, critics labeled them heavy, outdated, or overpriced. The truth? These bikes carried heart, history, and a character that no assembly line overseas could copy. Today, we're rolling through 13 American motorcycles that are shockingly good. Some became legends, some flew under the radar, but every single one proved that U.S. steel could stand toe-to-toe with Japan's finest. And believe me, a few of these picks will make you look twice. Starting with number 13, Harley-Davidson Iron 883. For many riders, the Harley-Davidson Iron 883 was the first handshake with the Harley world. That narrow frame, peanut tank, and exposed steel carried a weight of history that Japanese rivals never could replicate. Its 883cc Evolution Phi-twin air-cooled engine pumped out 51 horsepower and 54 pound-feet of torque. These are modest numbers that masked its real strength. They entered the scene in 2009, with Harley pricing it at around $8,000. Riders expected it to be expensive, a luxury, but here was a machine within reach. Meanwhile, Japanese entry cruisers of the same era cost nearly the same, but lacked the deep mechanical heartbeat of a V-twin. The best part was its endurance. Owners loved that it could be stripped, chopped, or left stock and still hold value. Today, brand new models hover near $11,000. Used ones are about $5,000 to $7,000, depending on year and mileage. That's strikingly close to Japanese cruisers, but with a badge and character many riders dreamt of since childhood. The Iron 883 became the people's Harley, accessible, customizable, affordable. It was a simple machine that held its ground against Japan's efficiency. Just when you think Harley had only mastered the small, gritty streets, the story takes a turn toward a heavyweight built for horizons that never end. And if this first story already stirred something nostalgic, hit the like button and subscribe now to keep walking with us through this memory lane of American legends. Number 12, Harley-Davidson Road Glide. The open highway is where the Harley-Davidson Road Glide truly belongs. Its wide front fairing cuts through the wind like the prow of a ship. Beneath that iconic shark nose sits the Milwaukee 8 107 or 114 cubic inch V-twin, delivering around 92 to 100 plus horsepower and up to 130 pound-feet of torque from its precision-cooled cylinders. The big move began when Harley introduced the frame-mounted shark nose fairing. While Japanese tourers leaned on technology and refined four-cylinder smoothness, Harley doubled down on presence. The Road Glide stayed wide, unapologetic, and perfectly suited for cross-country travel. A new Road Glide today runs between $23,000 and $26,000, depending on trim. Used examples, with thousands of miles but plenty of life left, often list around $18,000 to $22,000. Japanese rivals may cost less upfront, but they rarely match the same resale stability or cultural magnetism. The Road Glide turned long-distance travel into ritual. It carried a single promise: endless comfort, an endless road, and it delivered decade after decade. Yet the next chapter in Harley's story would leave highways behind and aim for the wilder places no one thought an American machine could conquer. Number 11, Harley-Davidson Pan America 1250. Adventure bikes had long belonged to Europe and Japan. BMW's GS ruled deserts. Honda's Africa Twin mastered trails. Few expected Harley to even step in. Yet in 2021, the Pan America exploded onto the scene. Its Revolution Max 1250 liquid-cooled V-twin cranked out 150 horsepower and 94 pound-feet of torque, figures that towered over BMW's Boxer twins and matched Honda's parallel twin Africa twins while delivering distinctly American character. Where Japanese ADV bikes prioritize clinical efficiency, the Pan America's V-twin growled with personality, proving Harley could innovate without losing its soul. The major change came with the Revolution Max engine, liquid-cooled, 150 horsepower, and packed with tech no Harley had ever seen before. This wasn't just another Harley, it was a reinvention. While Japanese bikes excelled in reliability, Harley shocked with bold innovation. The key appeal was the price. At launch, the Pan America started near $17,000. Today, just a couple years later, You can find used models between 12 and 14,000. The Pan America silenced critics. It proved Harley could adapt, not by copying, but by setting a new standard for American motorcycles. And if you think this evolution is daring, the next product shows just how far Harley dared to push legacy and modern vision side by side. Number 10, Indian Scout. The Scout was in America's rebirth in steel and chrome. Low, muscular, with a teardrop tank that whispered back to the 1920s, it carried the soul of heritage but the heart of modern engineering. Its 1133cc liquid-cooled V-twin delivered about 95 horsepower and 72 pound-feet of torque, nearly doubling the power of Yamaha's Bolt and embarrassing Kawasaki's Vulcan S with raw American torque. Where Japanese cruisers like the Honda Shadow served up parallel twin politeness, the Scout's V-twin roared with authority. The shift happened when the manufacturer offered it at prices that startled the market. At a time when Japanese cruisers like the Yamaha Bolt and Kawasaki Vulcan were seen as affordable options, the Scout entered at 12 to 14,000, with an 1133cc liquid-cooled V-twin producing about 95 horsepower. The Scout wasn't just for cruising. It launched hard, handled tight turns better than expected, and carried a refinement that shocked first-time riders. Today, used models sit around 7 to 9,000, making it competitive with Japanese machines that often lack the same cachet. What came next, however, flipped the script entirely, taking Indian out of its comfort zone and into a fight against machines no one expected it to challenge. Number 9. Indian FTR 1200. The FTR 1200 was America's unexpected answer to naked sport bikes. Inspired by flat-track racing, it looked aggressive, with high pipes, wide bars, and a lean stance. Its 1203cc liquid-cooled V-twin delivered 111 horsepower and 80 pound-feet of torque, matching Yamaha's MT-10 and Kawasaki's Z900 in fury, while serving up distinctly American character. Where Japanese nakeds offered clinical precision from their inline fours, the FTR's V-twin kicked like a Bronco in flat-track aggression. The FTR carried personality. Its 1,200cc engine pushed around 111 horsepower with torque that surged through every gear. Riders described it as alive, unpredictable but thrilling. New, the FTR listed around 14 to 15,000, but the surprise came in depreciation. Used models often fall to 8 to 10,000, a shocking bargain compared to European and Japanese rivals. For that price, you're not just buying performance, you're buying something unique, a motorcycle that looks unlike anything else on the road. The FTR carved a niche. It proved that American companies could build a naked sport bike with world-class bite. And for those who wanted individuality with power, the FTR became a cult favorite. Riders searching for freedom found it here. Yet the next option would trade sharp corners for wide horizons. Number 8. Indian Chieftain. The Indian Chieftain boasts of a wide fairing, stretched saddlebags, and a seat so deep it feels like an armchair rolling on chrome wheels. Its Thunderstroke 111 cubic inch V-twin thundered with 119 pound-feet of torque, dwarfing Honda Goldwing's smooth six-cylinder and BMW's refined boxer engines with pure American muscle. The shift began when Indian revived itself under Polaris. Riders expected nostalgia, but the Chieftain added modern flair. The Thunderstroke 111 engine didn't just move the bike, it pulsed with torque with a low growl that stayed steady mile after mile. Where Japanese tourers leaned on gadgets, the Chieftain married heritage with touchscreen navigation, Bluetooth, and creature comforts hidden beneath leather and steel. A new Chieftain today runs about $22,000, not pocket change, yet the shock comes when browsing used market with prices that range between $13,000 and $16,000. That's thousands less than many European or Japanese competitors with fewer luxuries. The Chieftain gave Indian its swagger back. Riders who craved individuality found their match in the FTR, though the next machine took rebellion even further, rewriting the rules of engineering itself. Number 7. Buell 1125R. On quiet back roads, the Buell 1125R looked out of place. Angular, compact, and futuristic, it wasn't chrome or cruiser. It was pure engineering experiment. Eric Buell's creation housed an 1125cc liquid-cooled 72-degree V-twin from Rotax, hammering out 146 horsepower and 82 pound-feet of torque. While Japanese superbikes delivered polished inline-fours, Buell fitted a Rotax-built liquid-cooled V-twin, pumping out 146 horsepower. Every inch felt different, purposeful, almost rebellious. When new, the 1125R sold for around $11,000. A genuine American superbike undercutting Japanese rivals on price. Buell as a brand didn't survive, but the 1125R remains living proof that America could build a bike to challenge Japanese sport bikes on their own turf. Owners still praise its handling and torque. For collectors, it remains a bargain, though the next American machine flexed its muscles with raw power and presence. Number 6. Victory Hammer S. Thick rear tire, long wheelbase, muscular tank. The Victory Hammer S looked like a powerful heavyweight boxer in metal. Beneath that menacing exterior lurked a 106 cubic inch, 1731cc, Freedom V-twin, pumping out 97 horsepower and a staggering 112 pound-feet of torque. Unlike Japanese cruisers, which often mirrored American styling, Victory carved its own identity. The Hammer S packed a 106 cubic inch V-twin, delivering real-world strength with a belt drive that made ownership simpler than chain-driven rivals. Brand new, the Hammer S listed for around $15,000. Sadly though, the Victory model is gone, but used Hammers are shockingly affordable, $6,000 to $9,000. For a bike this unique, that's a steal. Few Japanese or European cruisers offer that combination of muscle and rarity at such low prices. Victory shut down in 2017, but bikes like the Hammer S live on as cult classics. Yet the next machine swapped roaring pistons for silent force, one that shocked riders the first time they felt it. Number 5. Zero SR and Zero F. At first, the silence feels wrong. No idle rumble, no exhaust note, just a faint electronic whine when you twist the throttle. But then the Zero leaps forward with its electric motor unleashing 110 horsepower and 140 pounds-feet of instant torque. While Japanese manufacturers hesitated with electric concepts, Zero's American-built power plant delivered acceleration that embarrassed most superbikes to 60 miles per hour. This bike became successful when Zero proved that American bikes could lead the electric revolution. Where Japanese brands hesitated, Zero delivered. The SR/F carried over 100 horsepower, torque so immediate it outpaced many superbikes to 60 miles per hour, and ranges nearing 160 miles with optional batteries. New SR/F models sell around $20,000. Not cheap, but the shock comes on the used market. Many examples sit between $12,000 and $13,000. Suddenly, you're paying Japanese midweight money for an American-built EV with cutting-edge performance. The SR/F cemented Zero's reputation. It showed America was leading. Riders who once doubted electric motorcycles left test rides with wide eyes, realizing torque could thrill without sound. The real surprise came next when another American machine proved it could be the fastest in the world. Number 4. Lightning LS 218. Imagine a desert runway, heat shimmering on the horizon. A motorcycle launches, silent except for a rising electric howl. This is what Lightning represents. Its electric motor system generated 200 horsepower and 160 pound-feet of torque, numbers that made Japanese superbikes look conservative. The shift happened in 2014 when Lightning unveiled this electric missile. While Japanese superbikes pushed refinement, Lightning skipped petrol entirely and delivered more raw speed than any of them. A 150 horsepower electric motor, massive battery pack, and futuristic design put it in a league of its own. The price tag shocked as much as the speed. Brand new LS 218s list around $38,000, but used models occasionally appear in the $25,000 to $30,000 range. A bargain when you consider supercars slower than this cost 10 times more. Compared to Japanese leader bikes, the value is in rewriting what fast truly means. The LS 218 proved America could lead in the one metric every rider cares about, which is speed. The next product carried that future into the streets when an American icon dared to build a silent machine for everyday riders. Number 3. Livewire 1. This one starts quietly yet powerfully. No roar, no smoke. Just the flick of a switch and a hum that feels more like a spaceship than a motorcycle. Its Revelation electric motor delivers 105 horsepower and 86 pound-feet of instant torque. matching Honda's CBR 650R and embarrassing Yamaha's MT-07 with immediate power delivery that no gasoline engine could replicate. The shift began under Harley-Davidson when they bravely gambled on building the first mainstream electric motorcycle. Critics doubted it. Was anyone ready for a Harley without thunder? But the Livewire proved itself in cityscapes, offering range around 100 miles and acceleration that left jaws dropped. Here is the highlight of this beauty. A new Livewire 1 costs around $22,000. That sounds steep until you see used models dipping to $14,000 or $15,000. Suddenly, it's priced alongside Japanese middleweights, except it delivers futuristic torque and American engineering. It started a brand of its own. It showed that American motorcycles weren't bound to tradition alone. For riders in cities, it became more than transport. Yet the next American creation abandoned silence altogether and made the loudest statement ever. Number 2. Boss Hoss V8. Some bikes whisper, others roar. The Boss Hoss doesn't bother with either. It shouts. It's a rolling monument of a 350 cubic inch Chevrolet V8 engine squeezed between two wheels, delivering about 350 horsepower and 450 pounds-feet of torque in its standard form, with larger or tuned versions reaching far more. The shift began in the 90s when Boss Hoss started stuffing Chevrolet V8 engines into motorcycle frames. While Japanese cruisers maxed out at 1,800 CCS, the Boss Hoss dwarfed them with 5 to 6 liter monsters. In its largest engines, torque figures can soar past 600 pound-feet, giving riders an almost lift-off feel rather than mere acceleration. New Boss Hoss bikes often sit between $50,000 and $60,000, as much as a luxury car. Yet used ones, still wild and functional, range from $30,000 to $40,000. For the sheer spectacle, and depending on who is buying, that's an attainable price. The Boss Hoss is about identity. It's the bike that makes strangers pull out phones, that makes riders laugh at their own courage. If you thought this is the best of all, the next machine told a very different story, one where silence was thrown aside and American excess roared louder than anything else on two wheels. Number 1. EBR 1190RX. At the peak of American sport bike ambition sat the EBR 1190RX. Sharp fairings, aggressive stance, and a heartbeat that screamed for racetracks. Born from Eric Buell's relentless pursuit of performance, its 1190cc liquid-cooled, a 72-degree V-twin, and roared with 185 horsepower with 102 pound-feet of torque. These numbers challenge Kawasaki's ZX-10R and Yamaha's R1 on their own turf. The shift came in 2014 when the 1190RX entered a field dominated by Japanese leader bikes, yet it shocked critics. 185 horsepower from a V-twin, a featherweight chassis at under 450 pounds, and handling praised as razor-sharp. The value of this beauty is jaw-dropping. When new, the 1190RX cost about $18,000. Today, used models often sell for $8,000 to $10,000. For that money, riders are buying one of the most advanced American motorcycles ever built. Compare that to Japanese leader bikes at the same price, and suddenly the 1190RX feels like a secret bargain. Sadly though, the EBR didn't survive, but the 1190RX left a mark. It proved America could stand on the same stage as Japan and Europe in performance. For collectors and dreamers, it remains a bittersweet treasure, a glimpse of what American engineering could achieve when it dared. American motorcycles can do more than you think. Want more? Make sure to click on the next video and don't forget to subscribe.